I open my eyes and start walking through this weird cave. Surfing on the water, walking through a maze, I find this Pokemon deep in the cave. It says Mew. Then my alarm goes off and I wake up inside our house in Pallet Town. Today is the day. Professor Oak is going to give us our first Pokemon so I can become a real Pokemon trainer. I head to Professor Oak's lab and my rival Blue says he's not there. Maybe he's out in the grass, so I make my way there. Professor Oak stops me and asks me if I want to die because that's what will happen if I go in the grass. He leads me back to his lab and tells me to choose my starter Pokemon. I have a choice between the grass turtle Bulbasaur, the water turtle Squirtle, or the not turtle Charmander. Of course I chose Charmander, which I named Zuko. Comment down below guessing who I nicknamed all my Pokemon after, and I'll let you know if you're right. Anyways, Blue wants to battle with our new Pokemon, so Zuko scratches his turtle until he's no longer awake. Professor Oak then tasks us with getting a package from Viridian City. I make our way there, pick up the package from the Pokemart. Back in the lab, Professor Oak gives Blue and I our new Pokédexes and tasks us with completing them so he can finish his Pokemon research. It's really time to start our adventure. First things first, I head back to the Pokemart in Viridian City and buy some Pokeballs. I know that Brock, the Pewter City gym leader, and his Rock-type Pokemon are going to be hard for Zuko. I decide to catch a Mankey and name him Mike. This old man then teaches us how to catch Pokemon, even though I already caught a new one. I make our way to the Viridian Forest where I can train Mike to take on Brock's rock types. Speaking of Brock, it's time to battle. I send out Mike against his Geodude. Mike is a lower level, but with some low kicks, he takes out Geodude with no problem. Same story with Onix. Our first gym badge was fairly easy, and after healing at the Pokemon Center, I head east, making our way to Mount Moon. Right before I leave Pewter City though, one of the professor's aides gives us the running shoes so we can run faster. A huge improvement over Red and Blue. On this new route, I take advantage of all the trainers and train up Zuko since he didn't get much love before the Brock fight. He defeats trainer after trainer until he hits level 16 and evolves into Charmeleon. I make it to the Pokemon Center outside Mount Moon, and inside there's a man selling a Magikarp for $500. What a steal. I will need a water type eventually, so why not? Maybe it will evolve by the time we leave Mount Moon. I name him Aqua. Inside Mount Moon, I fight wild Pokemon, trainers, and I find this wild Paris that I can catch and teach Cut later. Welcome to the team, Jet. Deep in the cave, I find these guys dressed in all black and a super nerd going on about fossils. I defeat him and take the Dome Fossil, which I promptly forget about for the rest of the run. Outside Mount Moon, I find these two karate guys and one of them teaches Mike the move Mega Punch. With that, I make our way to Cerulean City, home of the water gym leader Misty. But before I try and take on Misty, I head north and run into our rival Blue. Zuko takes out Blue's Pidgeotto with an Ember and a Burn. Mike almost takes out Squirtle, but then Zuko comes in to finish it off. Zuko then takes out Abra and takes out Rattata. With that victory out of the way, I make our way up Nugget Bridge and find another guy dressed in all black at the end of the bridge who gives us a nugget and tries to make us join Team Rocket. I defeat him and fight some more trainers before I make it to this guy's house. Inside I find a Pokemon who says he's actually a man named Bill and tells us to press a button on his computer so he can return back to normal. I do so and the man walks out and gives us a ticket to an extremely exclusive party on the SS Anne, but we have to make our way to Vermilion City for it. I should head there after defeating Misty, I guess. Aqua then evolves into Gyarados to prepare for Misty's fight, and speaking of which, it's time to take her on. I send out Mike, who knocks out Staryu with a Karate Chop. Aqua then comes out and knocks out Starmie with Bite. 2 badges down with no real issues. Hopefully our streak continues. Next up, we head to Vermilion City, and on the way I catch this Meowth, who I named Jeffrey. Now I make our way to the SS Anne. On the ship, I defeat trainer after trainer after trainer after trainer until I find our way to the captain's quarters where Blue wants to fight us right outside. Zuko, being 10 levels above Blue's Pidgeotto, knocks it out with Ember. Mike knocks out Wartortle, Zuko knocks out Kadabra, and Zuko ends the fight knocking out Raticate. We talk to the captain, who is seasick, kinda funny, and he gives us the HM for Cut. Now we can take on Lieutenant Surge for our 3rd gym badge. Our team might be a little overpowered for this fight. I lead with Zuko against Lieutenant Surge's Voltorb, and Zuko is 9 levels higher. He takes out Voltorb with Ember, Pikachu with Ember, and, would you guess it, Raichu with Ember. With the 3rd gym badge down, I talk to the head of the Pokemon fan club who gives us the bike voucher. I redeem the bike voucher. Now I head east again to make our way through Rock Tunnel. I don't really have a Pokemon that I want to teach Flash to, so I just run around battling trainers until I eventually make my way through. I also caught Jackie the Machop, who will replace Mike. We head inside the Pokemon Tower in Lavender Town, where Blue is mourning the loss of his Pokemon. Hopefully I didn't do that, but he wants to battle again. Aqua takes out Pidgeotto with Water Pulse, Growlithe with Tackle, Zuko takes out Execute with Ember, Jackie comes out to debut against Wartortle, but I switch him out for Aqua. Blue then sends out Kadabra, who gets knocked out by Bite. Aqua wins the fight by taking out Wartortle with Dragon Rage. There are too many ghosts in the Pokemon Tower, so we can't proceed. Oh well, let's make our way to Celadon City to get our next badge. In Celadon, we make our way to this little cafe where we get the coin case. We buy enough coins from the game corner to buy ourselves the next team member. Say hello to Houdini the Abra. 2 trade evolution Pokemon? That might cause an issue later, but oh well. We defeat the trainers in Erica's gym where Houdini evolves into a real Pokemon. Then it's time to take on Erica. It's almost like this gym was made for Zuko. Zuko knocks out Victory Bell with Flamethrower, Tangela with Flamethrower, and finally Vileplume with Flamethrower. With Erica defeated, Zuko evolves into his final form, Charizard. Back inside the game corner, we see there's a Team Rocket member staring at a thing on the wall. Turns out to be a button that leads us down to their secret hideout. Cool. Cool. After defeating some grunts and doing some spinny pad puzzles, we find the Team Rocket leader Giovanni and challenge him to a battle. He's no match for our perfectly curated team. He abandons his base and leaves behind the Sylph Scope, which will allow us to climb through the Pokemon Tower. We head back to Lavender Town, and on our way to the top of the Pokemon Tower, we find Ghastly, who we named Casper. That's our 3rd trade evolution Pokemon. Well, we fight the big bad ghost, which ends up being a Marowak. Sadly, we can't catch it. I wonder if it could be shiny. How did these Team Rocket grunts get up here past the ghost? Anyways, after clearing out the grunts, we save Mr. Fuji, who gives us the Pokeflute so we can wake up a Snorlax that is blocking the way. Before we do that though, back in Celadon we get some tea so we can actually travel through Saffron City. We give it to the guard, knock out the Snorlax blocking the path, evolve Jackie to Machoke, Casper to Haunter, and here's where I pull out the strongest thing in Pokemon, my credit card. You see, to trade in Gen 3 games, you need 2 Game Boy Advance systems and a link cable. Well, I don't have those, so I spent $150 on Facebook Marketplace, $10 for a link cable off Amazon, and waited a week so I could proceed. Now let's trade and evolve Houdini into Alakazam, Jackie into Machamp, and Casper to Gengar. Is it overpowered to have these 3 this early in the game? Yes. Do I care? No. Now that we have them, we defeat more trainers and make our way to Koga's gym in Fuchsia City. Houdini makes quick work of Koga, so I'm not even going to bore you with this battle. After we defeat him, we head to the Safari Zone and run out of steps. Whoops. But on our second attempt, we find the golden teeth for the Zookeeper, and we make our way to the end to get the Surf HM. We return the teeth and get the HM for strength, make our way up Cycling Road, catch the Snorlax who we name Bear. Back in Saffron, our next challenge is the Sylph Co headquarters. After defeating basically every trainer in the building, we find the right telepad, and what do you know? Blue's waiting for us to battle. Blue leads his Pidgeot against Zuko, who just uses Flamethrower to knock it out. Casper takes out Alakazam with Shadow Punch, Execute with Shadow Punch, Jackie knocks out Blastoise with Crit Revenge, and Aqua finishes off the battle by knocking out Growlithe with a Water Pulse. After the battle, this guy who just watched us fight our rival hands us a Lapras, and it's time we defeat Giovanni again. Aqua knocks out Nidorino with Water Pulse, his Rhyhorn with the Water Pulse, Jackie takes out Kangaskhan with Karate Chop, and Casper knocks out Nidoqueen with Psychic. Talking to the Sylph Co president, he gives us a Master Ball because he's grateful that we saved his company, and this will probably come in handy later. Now that Saffron's no longer under Rocket control, we can take Casper to bring down Sabrina the Psychic Gym Leader. Casper one-shots Kadabra with Shadow Punch, does the same with Mr. Mime, and to Alakazam. I'm not sure why I was worried about this fight. Casper ends the fight with a crit Shadow Punch against Venomoth. We teach Aqua the move Surf so we can surf our way to the Cinnabar Islands where we have to find a key to get into the 7th gym. Off to the Pokemon Mansion, I guess. In the basement, we catch a Ditto because it's probably the coolest Gen 1 Pokemon, and find the key. Now, Blaine is also not really that fun to talk about because Aqua just surfs his way to victory. Outside the gym, we meet Bill again, who wants us to go to the Sevi Islands, but let's save that for after the Elite Four. It's time we take on the 8th and final gym leader. Who could this amazing trainer be that stands between us and the Elite Four? Well, it's Giovanni again. You know, the guy we just beat twice already. As a kid, I thought it was wild that a crime boss could be a gym leader, but oh well, let's do this. With 1 surf, 2 surfs, 3 surfs, 4 surfs, and a Hydro Pump, we can finally make our way to the Elite Four. On Route 22, we're stopped by Blue for the final time, who wants us to battle before we head to Victory Road. Houdini knocks out his Pidgeot with Shockwave, Casper knocks out Blastoise with Psychic, Aqua takes out Alakazam with Surf, Rhyhorn with Surf, and Growlithe with Hydro Pump. Could Blue really not find a Firestone? Then Zuko knocks out Execute with Flamethrower. Okay, now we are ready to take on the Elite Four. Just ignore the high level jump. I kinda did some grinding. First, up against Lorelie, we send out Houdini, who sets up 5 Calm Mines, then he Shockwaves Dugong, then Lapras, then Cloyster, then Slowbro, then Zuko knocks out Jinx with Wing Attack. Bruno is up next, so I send Aqua out to knock out Onix with Surf, Casper knocks out Hitmonchan with Psychic, Aqua then comes back out to knock out Onix number 2 with Surf, Casper puts Machamp to sleep, then knocks it out with Psychic, and does the same to Hitmonlee as well to end the battle. Next up is Agatha. Casper knocks out Gengar with Shadow Punch, Houdini knocks out Golbat with Psychic, Arbok with Psychic, Gengar number 2 with Psychic, and Haunter with Psychic. Last we have Lance, the Dragon Master. Against Gyarados, I send out Houdini, who knocks out Gyarados with Shockwave. Aqua takes out Aerodactyl with Surf. Houdini then sets up Calm Mind against Dragonair so I can sweep the rest of Lance's team. Houdini then knocks out Dragonair with Psychic, Dragonair number 2 with Psychic, and Dragonite with Psychic to defeat Lance. Lance then tells us there's actually one more trainer we have to defeat, a new champion, and it is Blue. Again. I thought I was done with you. Okay, fine. I can beat you one more time. Houdini comes out to knock out Pidgeot with Shockwave. I guess Blue found the Firestone because Aqua takes out Arcanine with Hydro Pump. Aqua then knocks out Rhydon with Hydro Pump. Casper takes out Arcanine with Shadow Ball. Houdini takes out Blastoise with a crit Shockwave. And after waking up from a sleep, Houdini defeats Blue with Psychic. With that, we are now the champion of the Kanto region. Professor Oak comes out to congratulate us, and we are cemented in the Hall of Fame. But our run is not over yet. We still have a few things we need to do. After waking up in Palatown outside our house, we fly to Cinnabar Island to meet Bill in the Pokemon Center. He takes us on a trip to the Sevi Islands. Once we arrive, he introduces us to his friend Celio. Celio tells us we need to bring the special meteorite to his friend who owns a game corner on 2 Island because he really likes rocks. We go to 2 Island and his friend says we need to find his daughter on 3 Island who's late bringing him his lunch. We go to 3 Island and make our way through Not Viridian Forest, rescue his daughter from a Hypno, and deliver the meteorite. Celio then thanks us for our help and tells us we can now use the PC network on the islands. There's only one more thing for us to do. We've been dreaming about this since we started our journey. We walk into the cave in Cerulean City, surf on the water, make our way through the rock maze, and find him, the legendary Pokemon Mewtwo. It's time for us to use our Master Ball and Mewtwo is ours. Let's name him Mew3. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it and want to see another video like it, why not check out this video where I played through Pokemon Heart Gold and caught a ton of shiny Pokemon.